What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so today I have the Escalade behind me here, and we're gonna talk about vinyl wrap. And I'm gonna talk about my experience so far, and then you guys can comment below, let me know your experiences. But to me, I will never vinyl wrap a car ever again. I've had probably the worst experience with this wrap ever. Now, the company I took it to, and I'm not gonna mention them this time around, I'm not gonna make any more credit. If you guys wanna see who I took it to, check the video where I vinyl wrapped it. I mentioned them who it was, but I'm not mentioning them anymore because I don't want anybody taking their car there, at least anybody that I know, especially my viewers out there. I wouldn't want you guys taking the car there because it would be a pain. At the company I work for, we vinyl wrap cars all the time there sometimes, and we've dealt with their issues down there as well. Not the best company to work for, or work with, I should say. But so my first grief with vinyl wrap is it's a pain. It is a pain to take care of. Scuffs, little things like that. Once you get a scuff, it's done. I'm told you can somehow fix it. I haven't tried. I know you can't buff it just like a regular paint job. So there's different ways of fixing it. I'll actually talk to my boy when he gets here, and I'll talk about that in a second too. So here's the thing with what's going on with this vinyl wrap. And again, you guys can comment in the videos, let me know if it's just me or the people that install it and they don't know what they're doing, which was what I think. So the car was vinyl wrapped about a year ago. And you know, when I first got it, I was excited. I loved the way it looked. I wanted to do this to my CTS V Sport, but I never got around to doing it. And finally, the Escalade, and I get a lot of comments. I get a lot of people just, you know, looks good. I love the way it looks. They love the way the car looks, and so do I. It looks awesome. But I am very anal about the vehicle and any little imperfections. Now, of course, the car was used, and it had, of course, the paint was old, and it had, you know, had to be washed properly and everything. And I understand that the paint was not perfect. So I knew there was gonna be little imperfections here and there, but not as much as I found. Now, here are some of the imperfections I found. Now, this little scuff right down here, right there, was there way before I bought the car, and that's actually the hood, that's the paint. So when they wrapped this thing, from what I was told from somebody that does wrap, they saw this at a car show, and they said they just stopped right there. They didn't wrap it all the way in. He goes, why wouldn't you wrap that all the way in? And they did. They stopped every single seam right at the edge here instead of wrapping inwards. And of course, we have some of the hood right here as well. Look at this. Right there on the hood. That is all crinkled up, and there is another imperfection right down here. Right in here, look at right by the lights down here. And you can see those. There is imperfection, there's a bubble there, and they kind of just stopped. They didn't like pull the lights out, they didn't do anything, they didn't pull the bumper off to properly wrap it. They just kind of did it while it's on the car and then kind of just cut at the lines, which supposedly from what I know from my buddy at Labati GFX, he used to take every single trim piece out, everything out to wrap it. But again, that's how these guys did it. I thought it was okay. I've never wrapped a car, never had a car wrap before, so it's my first experience. My worst experience with this is this back bumper. This back bumper has had issues since day one. Few weeks after I got the car back, I was pumping gas and I was walking around the car, and I noticed that this whole portion right down here was peeling. All this was lifted up, literally like lifted up. Looked like a skirt at the back of this thing. So I called the guy, he's like, yeah, bring it in, we'll fix it. Their fix was to cut right down here. Look at this, you can see the seam right there, that seam right there. He cut there and then just wrapped this portion out this way. Then it started peeling on this side again. Same thing at the bottom there, it started to peel. So I'm like, what the heck? So he did the same thing here. He cut there, and there's a seam, you can see it all the way down to the bottom. So then, ever since then, it's been going back. Almost a year I've had this done, and I think it's gone back at least 5 or 6 times back to these people to have something fixed in the back bumper. Now, this time around, this last time, I said, hey, look, man, also I noticed that here, look at these, look at the sensors. Look at that sensor, how it's all flush with the bumper of the car. But look at this sensor. You can tell that's not flush. So I tell him, hey, listen, it's peeling again, it's peeling. You got a big old bubble right there. It's peeling at the bottom here again, which was, you guys need to fix this. And we had a big, long conversation. He's like, you know what, I'm just gonna rewrap the entire bumper all over again. I said, that's perfect. So when you do that, when you take the bumper off to do that, make sure you fix the sensor, you guys. When you put it back in, you didn't put it back in right. So he goes, he's okay. He takes the car, takes it for a weekend, and look at the job I get back. Look at this. They like just heated it up and just, you know, glued it back on there. Same thing on this side. Just heated up, glued it back on. I still have a bubble right there. The sensor was not fixed. And, you know, I'm like, hey, I told him this, you didn't do a proper job. He's like, well, I've lost so much money in this car, I can't keep fixing these things. I'm like, well, you guys did this. It's your workmanship, back it up. You know, apparently they're done, they're not gonna fix this anymore. So, and again, having a vehicle wrapped has been a pain too. Washing it is easy. I don't know why my kick plate is sticking out, but I gotta fix that. But anyways, when you get a, let me fix this, this is bothering me. So, you get any little scuffs like this, look at these little scuffs right here. And it's over. It's pretty much, I don't know how to fix them. They kind of look crappy, you can't buff it. At least I know you can't buff it. Let me guys know in the comment below if you can buff these things. I got some other ones here. I got one right there. And there's another one somewhere around here on the front of the car. So anybody out there that does vinyl wraps, let me know if those things can be fixed or not, or do you have to rewrap the entire car? And that's the problem with me. Because for a small scuff, do I got to rewrap an entire panel? That's kind of gonna suck. So that's a small portion of this. Biggest thing was this back bumper. So today what's happening is my boy from Automotive Redesign, you guys have seen him in other videos, he's done remote starts for me and things like that. He actually is coming out here. He works for Tint World. He's a manager at Tint World in Glenview, Illinois. He's coming out here. He's gonna pick up my car. He's gonna rewrap my entire bumper. He said he'll fix it up for me. He'll get it looking right. He's gonna rewrap the entire bumper. I'm gonna take his Ram pickup truck for a day, and he's gonna take my Escalade, and then he'll get it fixed for me. So we'll see how that turns out. But again, my biggest thing is here, just be careful who does the job. Do some research on whoever's doing the job on how they do the work. Now, the people that used to do, the guy that used to do my work before, which was the Chrome Delete, was Livati GFX. Now, he was really good. He was really good at his job. And when I was thinking of wrapping it, he was gonna do it, but then he sold his company. He does his own thing now, away from wrapping cars, and I wish he was still around because then I would have him fix this thing. But either way, I'm gonna see how my boy does, and hopefully he gets my car looking right, at least in the back bumper here area. And he gives me some tips on how to get these scuffs out. Hopefully there's a way to get scuffs out on this. But we'll wait for him to come in and we'll continue the video at that point. 55 to my 420, so I mean, well, you guys,
you got me by 20.
I think the torque is about the same.
Yeah.
It's a nice truck though. I do like these trucks here.
Oh,
my baby girl, if you guys are listening, what that noise is. but I do like these trucks. These trucks do look good.
Check this out. I added this not so long ago.
Oh, look at him! Look at him! Look at him!
I did the ambient lighting.
Look at him with the nightclub lighting inside the car.
Well, what's cool is it's app controlled, and then I have the button to change to colors and this and that and everything. It's pretty cool. It's actually, I mean, you can't really go.
Yeah. You got a sound system on this thing?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, I have. It's, you know what? The system I want to put in here, just the subwoofers alone are going to cost me about $2,000.
Man, what are you trying to put in here, bro?
4/8.
Okay, we're not 18, 20 years old anymore.
No, but I'm doing the whole entire car redone completely. All new speakers. It's gonna have a digital sound processor. It's gonna have, I mean, the best of the best. The whole back is gonna get redone completely with a beautiful amp rack, all done by me. Custom box for the subs. Every speaker I'm talking about, you'll be able to hear me from about 3 blocks away.
And hopefully it doesn't happen what happened to you in Chicago when you had it in that Intrepid.
No.
Where you got stuff just
when they broke into
we told you to keep it down. Keep it down.
You don't bump where you sleep.
So
that's it. That's
Automotive Redesign is his Instagram page. He works for
Tint World, Glenview. I am the general manager for that store, running it all day long. Anybody who's up in that area, please come by. I'll be more than glad to show you the shop, show you the area, show you everything that we do, even past cars that we've done. We do everything from little beaters to high performance. It doesn't matter what it is, we bring it in and we tackle the work.
So there you have it, Tint World. They're located in Glenview, Illinois. I'll put the address and their phone number down below. And of course, they do anything from window tinting to vinyl wrapping, ceramic coating, auto detailing, spray and bed liner. They do home or basically residential things, so you get your windows tinted at your house. They do also marine stuff like boat installation for like sound systems and things like that. So just hit him up. Again, you guys got to see what he does with the vinyl wrap on this bumper and how he fixes it. But they're a great job. And when you guys go off of this video, you get 10% off. You got to just look for my boy in there. His name is Ronaldo. Just ask for him and he'll give you 10% off on anything you need when you come in there. Again, audio systems, alarm systems, remote starts, anything you need, let him know. Wheels, lift kits, all that stuff is basically part of the package they do there. They do a lot of different things for not just cars, but also your boat. They do things for residential and also commercial. So go ahead and hit them up. The phone number will be down below in the description. So there you go. So anyways, we are gonna pretty much stop the video for now here. Of course, like I said, I will show you guys what they do. I'm gonna be going out of town while they're working on my truck tomorrow, but he's gonna take over the camera work for showing what they do with the back bumper on that car. And like I said, hopefully tomorrow, by the time I see it again, it'll be Sunday. It'll be all good and I won't have to ever deal with that issue with that bumper on that Escalade again. Because I love that truck. Of course, you guys know that I'm looking at an Audi Q8 as well, but yeah, I don't know. I still love my truck, so we'll see. So for right now, I'm gonna leave you guys here, and the next time you see me, all right, so here is my boy's Dodge Ram 1500, of course with the 5.7 liter Hemi. Now I said, I'm not a big Dodge person, so I mean, but I do love the way these trucks look. I mean, these things look, they just look mean. They look like a truck should look. I'm not saying the Fords or the Chevys don't, I don't know. Something about these trucks do it for me. And again, I'm not a big Dodge person. I'm not huge on those things, but these things are I would own one of these. Now, I worked for Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep for about 6 months. Never actually got a chance to drive them. I actually dealt with them shop-wise and stuff like that, but never drove one for an extended period of time. So it's gonna be a first for me. I'm gonna have it for the entire day pretty much. And I wanna see this thing because I've been looking at possibly, like I said, I was looking at a Q8, but I'm also maybe like getting a truck and something more useful. Now the truck, the Q8, the only reason I went that way to the Q8 is because I don't need something as big as this or the Escalade. But in the same sense, I've always needed a truck just to do things around the house when I wanna haul some stuff. Now, this looks like it's got a shorter bed, like a 5-foot bed only, maybe 6-foot bed, because it's got the extended cab on there. But let's take a look at this thing. Let's drive this thing and see how it works. And I do like the interior. What I will say, one thing I don't like about the interior is that dial knob to basically take the car from park to drive, pretty much the gear shifter. So let's take a look at this thing. This is what I don't like about this. So let's start it up. I guess most of you guys have seen it that own these, but this big, huge screen, I love it. Love that screen. Actually, I gotta get my cords to get my Apple CarPlay on there. But here's one thing about this I will say. Again, I've dealt with these vehicles, and climate controls. Let's put a fan down here. These screens, if this screen goes out on you, and it's happened where I worked at the dealership for Dodge, these screens go out on you, you're pretty much screwed. You can't control your AC because there's no other controls, there's no manual controls. This whole thing goes out, you can't control your AC, you can't do anything with this car. There's no radio. I mean, you can start it, you can drive it because you still have all this, nice gauges and stuff like that that show you a lot of different information. But this screen goes out on you and you're pretty much SOL because you can't do much of anything with your climate control or your, the radio at all. So nice and roomy. I like the layout. I've always liked the inside. It looks very luxurious. You got like the suede leather seating, with the Laramie on there. Nice back seats in the back, roomy. So I'm gonna drive this thing. I'm gonna get a USB-C cable so I can hook up my phone to this thing. And then I'm gonna see how it actually drives because I wouldn't mind owning one of these. I've always liked the front end. I like with a hood, that kind of the hood scoop looking thing on the top, which is set where it says Hemi on there. So I'll let you guys know how I like it. So as I'm driving this truck now, I drove it in the morning, I'm driving it back home for the day, and this thing I love the way it looks. I do. I love the interior. I love everything this truck has, all the gadgets. Even though I'm scared of this radio going out because, again, I said I worked for Dodge for 6 months, and these radios have gone out. When these radios go out, there's no functionality for the AC or anything that this radio does. It's a beautiful radio, though. I love when you go in the maps. You get this huge map. It's basically like a Tesla screen, if you want to call it that. So you have this huge radio, huge map. And then of course your Apple CarPlay is right there, and you got the dual screens there. You have your controls there for your climate controls down there. But yeah, the truck overall, I'm enjoying this truck. I'm actually thinking even of maybe just getting rid of the Escalade and getting into something like this. I'm not sure. One thing I do love, which I look always in pickup trucks, is GM has a tendency to have basically a 4-wheel auto. Same thing with when I had the 4Runner, that was always 4 high. Now, if you go into, like, I was looking at a Frontier or a Toyota Tacoma, they have a 4 high, 4 low, but a 2-wheel drive. And then that makes the truck a rear-wheel drive, which I've driven rear-wheel cars before, and I just don't like them, especially in the winter. This one has a 4 auto, 2-wheel drive, 4 auto, 4 high, and 4 low. So that's one thing that sold me. I don't still like this knob shifter. Don't know why. That just doesn't do it for me. But I guess it helps declutter everything. That means you don't have the shifter down here, which then you have a huge amount of room right here. Love how that phone holder. Check that out. That phone holder down there. That is awesome. I like that actually. Love that thing. I got both the phones down there. Both my iPhones are down there. The red light that's flashing is because the Q charger on the back here is not matching the magnets on the Q charger on the phone. So it can't detect it, so it's just giving you a red light flashing on there. That would be something that if I was to get something like this to figure out. But it's got all this storage right here. Then you got cup holders in here. So these slide in and out. So if you don't want the cup holders, you can just slide it out. You have your just storage room. And then you have the armrest. You have 2 levels in the armrest here as well. This vehicle is awesome. So with all that being said, the truck, my car is being worked on right now. The bumper's getting fixed. He showed me some pictures already. I'm going to show you right now the videos, and then we'll take a look at the car when it comes back. Actually, at this point in time, I'm going out of town, but for you guys, it's going to be a split second. So I'll see you guys in just a second here.
All right, so here's today's project, Paul's back bumper rewrap. And upon inspection, I found a few more things that I didn't like personally. So I came with my little light, and I saw this. They cut corners. They didn't even wrap it correctly the way you should. They should have at least 2-pieced it on the seam over here. Just horrible, because that's all shiny, which is fine. You're not seeing that. But it's like, come on, if you're going to do it, go right to the edge. Make it flush with that line. And then on top of that, that is horrible. Look, like you can literally see where they cut it. And it's not even flush inside. So we're going to do better. It's just, that's horrible. And then they try patching it up. Look at this. You can see the lines. That's horrible. Sensor's not even put on right. You know, and we come over here, they did the same thing. It's not even nicely tucked or anything. So we're gonna do a better job. Look at this. This is horrible. Especially on satin. If it was a matte finish, I would say, okay, yeah, you can do it with the matte. Because the matte's actually gonna look a lot better. But when it's satin, no, you're gonna see the seams and everything, and it's harder to get out. But we're gonna clean this up. I mean, even down here, look at that. Let me do this better. Look at that. That's horrible. That's not quality. That's garbage. So we're gonna fix all that. So, that's today's project. We're gonna rip this all off, and we're gonna do it right. All right, so this is what we did. We removed the whole bumper completely to clean everything up. There was some broken clips and stuff had to get fixed. And then here's the bumper. Now, because they didn't wrap that section correctly, they should have taken this whole piece off that was up here in order to wrap it correctly. And what we did was add adhesive remover to all the spots, so that way it's all cleared out and it's easier for us to wrap this once all that glue is completely off. But It's gonna take some time because that glue that they used was like rubber cement or something. So we're gonna clean it all up, make it look better, the way it should be. Fixed all this, took everything out, cleaned it completely how it should be because there was so much glue, adhesive promoter. But everything all got cleaned up and everything. It's been alcohol wiped, ready for that. I mean, the only purpose you would use any type of adhesive promoter or adhesive glue is because the film would not stick on there. But what we're gonna do is because there's more than enough glue on it, there's a certain technique in order for it to be on there so that it works. That way you don't have to use adhesive promoter. And there's little tricks in here. One big thing that they did mess up was the backup sensor all the way to the passenger side. Broke the bracket, so I'm gonna fix that for him as well. We're gonna actually plug that in top of everything in here and cut it out so it's nicely flushed in there and it's nice and clean. But other than that, we're gonna go through the whole process. Now there are a couple pieces we do have to do as partials, which down here on this portion, but he won't see the seam at all and it'll be invisible for it to be viewed. It'll be nicely clean and cut so that way it's all fine as well. So that's it.
Saw how they did everything. He explained exactly what he's doing, what he did to remove it, and what he found. Now let's take a look at the actual bumper. Okay, so here's the bumper. It looks a heck of a lot better. It's all one piece. There's no cutouts, no cutting anywhere where he did. And he goes all throughout. The whole bumper is one piece. Well, again, he explained that it was actually two pieces, if you guys saw that. But the bottom part, of course, he said I wouldn't be able to see that. And they tucked it in really nice. You can't tell that it is two pieces on there. It goes all nice all the way through here. And again, that ugly cutout what they did here from the other shop is gone because it is all one nice piece wrapped all the way through. And I'm very happy the way it turned out. He also fixed that sensor that was damaged right there. That sensor is fixed. And he did show on there, I'll show you guys a picture here. When they did adhesive promoter, they actually damaged it right here. The paint peeled off when they pulled the old wrap off because that was the part where I had the most issues, and they basically put some kind of adhesive promoter, some kind of rubber cement or whatever the hell they put on there to keep the wrap down. And when they peeled it off, it peeled some of the paint off. So there is some imperfection right in there. It's hard to see, but it is in there where, of course, it's basically there's no paint there in that area. But since it's wrapped, you can't tell. Okay, so all in all, the title of the video was, did I make a mistake wrapping the car? Yes and no. I love the way the car looks. Yes, because the car's been back and forth. It's been nothing but a headache since I wrapped the car. Mainly because, of course, the wrap wasn't done properly and it kept coming undone. The other ones is basically because washing the car is easier, but you can tell the dust settles on this a lot more than if it was just regular black paint. I mean, I've had black cars before, and I know a black car is a pain. You can wash it, it looks beautiful. 2 minutes later, it's dirty. But the fact that every time dust falls, I wash the car, the next day when I leave, there's dust already settled on this, and it's already looking dirty. That's the part that bothers me, as well as the worst part is when you get a scuff or a scratch, and you can't fix it. Some people say you can add heat to it, get it fixed a little bit, But if you get an actual scratch on this thing, you're redoing an entire panel and paying for that, because that's not warranty. That's not gonna be, it's not workmanship or anything. It's an error that was caused. So you gotta be very cautious when you're doing something like this, and make sure that you're not parking around people that don't care. So when you go to a store, I try to park as far as away from everybody so they won't hit the car, they won't damage the car. But either way, it's been a year. So if you're thinking of getting your car wrapped, just think about those things. You can't fix a scratch, you can't fix a large scuff, and it's got to be taken care of. You can't run it through a car wash. That's one thing. You cannot run this thing through an automatic car wash. It's a hand wash only. Now they say not to use pressure washer. I use a pressure washer, but I kind of stand back kind of far enough so it's not, I'm not on it like you would be with regular paint. You're kind of a little closer, especially when you're trying to get bugs out the front. And you got to use, I use specific soaps for this. Just basically, I like to use McGuire's, like the gold soap. That's pretty delicate and that works pretty well. But other than that, I mean, love the way a car looks. Still love it from day one that you guys saw the first video. And then just this bumper issue, and I hope I don't have to deal with this bumper issue ever again. It's finally done the right way. 3 weeks and it's been holding, so we'll see. So that's the end of the video, and that's pretty much my video on a wrapped car and a year after owning a car that's been wrapped. It is a pain to do. It's a pain to take care of, especially if you are tedious about your car and you want your car to look immaculate. Pretty much, I wouldn't do it. Next car I have, I probably will never wrap a car ever again. So again, that's the end of the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace.